Hey guys, it's Michael here. In this video, I'll show you how this channel made it from 200 to 1000 subscribers just within about 3 weeks. As you can see in this graph here, those are my last 90 days. So I started making videos around April 2020 and I was consistently pushing out content over that period of time. However, the large bump in popularity came with the release of Butcher's Circus, which is a DLC to Darkest Dungeon. And this is obviously a core thing that basically contributed to me getting to this subscriber number, but I would like to kind of tell you about like little things that I did along the way that probably, potentially may have helped me, and also how I actually made this push with Darkest Dungeon as well. So let's get started. Guys, remember to comment, like, and subscribe if you feel this video is useful to you. Guys, I have to share with you that I have been trying to make it on YouTube for about 6 years now. And I didn't quite have a decent, steady viewer base. So I had like about 200 subscribers who were, kind of coming and going. Nobody was really dedicated to my content. Nobody was interested that much. Those are just coincidental subs that I was able to gather. And this doesn't kind of warrant you any sort of, steady viewership, because those people will just come and go. They'll probably, watch a couple of your videos and never come back again. So that's what I was actually sitting at for quite a long time here. As you can see, I started in February or April 2013. It was a long time ago. So what I would actually like to show you guys is the video that kind of started it all. Okay, so here it is, my very first recommended video that I got on YouTube. And this is for Gears Tactics, so this is not Darkest Dungeon. This was a video I pushed through about a month and a half ago. And this is the very first time when algorithm of YouTube actually picked up my stuff and started suggesting it to people. It didn't last long, it wasn't the most explosive bit of content, but I believe that this is the video that actually allowed me to later on surface with my Darkest Dungeon content. So it's not like I actually just miraculously started doing Darkest Dungeon stuff and it just kind of, became a huge boom all of a sudden. I feel like this video actually kind of facilitated that, and it gave me this kind of a chance, gave me a shot to actually engage in something meaningful later on. So if you guys are just kind of trying to jump from 0 to hero, I think this is not that possible, not that likely. But if you just start consistently making content and then you kind of do what I'm about to tell you, I think you guys are going to also have a decent shot at being successful. So guys, I made like a list, like a couple of bullet points really that I'd like to kind of tell you about. So the very first point here is be at the right place at the right time. And I can't stress this enough. This is what really made it for me. This is what actually allowed me to get to 1K subs. I was just there. So I had a plan. I knew that I enjoy turn-based games. I enjoy PvP, and Butcher's Circus and Darkest Dungeon was basically a combination of the two. So I figured I kind of have a decent chance at making it there. So what I did, guys, is I waited. And like when a new game launches on Twitch, there are usually like thousands of popular streamers, and it's virtually impossible to just push through them, right? However, if you stream on YouTube, your chances of actually getting viewers are significantly higher. I was the very first person on YouTube specifically to actually stream the game, and from the stream, once the stream was over, people came to my videos and I started publishing highlights, which is going to be the very second step here. Let me just kind of elaborate on this a little bit first. So I set up a stream. I waited for the very exact first minute when this game was available. I downloaded it. I uploaded I published my stream on YouTube. I had quite a lot of stuff kind of set up, and I had a couple of ideas listed as well. So I wasn't going exactly blind into this. And you know what? People actually started coming around. And my channel that was usually getting, like my stream that was usually getting about 2 to 3 viewers, suddenly had like 70, 80 people sitting there and talking about the game. Now, obviously not all of them subscribed, but about 25 of them did. And back then, when I was like sitting at a subscriber per day, 25 was huge. And the most important thing, guys, is that those 25 people, I believe, mostly stayed around up to this day. And this is something that kind of makes it for you, right? To create this kind of engaged viewer base that, keep just, positivity around, and keeps you kind of going, keeps you making all this new content and such. So this was this was definitely the most important step for me. Just being there, being able to set up the stream, minute one, getting those people to actually come to my channel for the very first time and to discover it, right? Interestingly enough, though, this didn't kind of make my other videos popular because they are not about Darkest Dungeon, and the people who are actually watching me right now are mostly Darkest Dungeon crowd. So that's quite an important point to make. Your previous videos, prior to this kind of success, it's not success yet, but like prior to you actually getting noticed by the algorithm of YouTube, they will not get that much attention anyway. So you should just kind of consider them, I guess, like some sort of investment into how you improve and how you make things. Okay, let's go to point number 2. So imagine you made it past the first step, right? You streamed at the right time, at the right place. You got this basic audience there. So how do you keep them engaged? First of all, when I was streaming for the very first time, I wasn't quite notifying people to subscribe. I feel like this is kind of big, actually. Like, this gives me quite a few subs. If every 30-40 minutes, you just ask people to just drop you a sub. If they are not subscribed yet, they probably will. Quite often, if they're enjoying your content, if they're sticking around for the stream, they won't do this themselves out of the goodness of their hearts most often. So you have to just ask them to do this. I know this might be annoying for you. I'm not a big fan of this either, but honestly, like, if you're getting small audience and you're trying to grow, this is something that will propel you up. Now, you have to also obviously stay engaged with your audience. So the way I was doing this is I consistently streamed every single day when I started getting, some sort of popularity and viewership. And I also did something else, which is making highlights. And you guys can see those are my very first highlights. They are not specially just yellow text on the very basic background, but they were getting things done. Like, despite the fact that they are terrible in terms of editing, and they don't look great at all, they were actually getting people to watch my stuff. And this was like quite a significant contribution to my total viewership. You can see like 1,000-something views per highlight. I was basically pushing out about 10 highlights per day at first, which is obviously a mistake since the algorithm doesn't quite recognize that many. I think the optimal number right now, from my perspective, is about 5. So I'm trying still to push out about 5 videos a day. So I basically just stream. While I'm streaming, I take note of the things that I feel are going well, so like good, interesting moments, and then I just highlight them and I publish them on YouTube. And this is something that my audience that can't attend the stream also gets to have a look at, and this is also something that that keeps new people interested as well, because it does right now. I am recommended by YouTube by on a lot of for a lot of people basically, right? So those highlights pop up and they get interested. Okay, this guy streams Darkest Dungeon, right? I like Darkest Dungeon. Let's see what he has. That's basically, I believe, what kind of drives them to my channel right now. So if you just keep doing this, you will. I'm actually sitting at around 200 views per hour right now on YouTube on my channel. So this is quite decent, right? Granted, I was at about 200 views per day or less before the Darkest Dungeon thing happened. So I'm just saying, if you do this, if you just stream, if you make highlights, some of those highlights will actually become extremely popular as well. So that's quite an important thing. The thing I wasn't quite doing right, though, is actually making the thumbnails. So I kind of talked to you about this as well. So I'm not exactly too proud of this, but my thumbnails weren't the best at first. They were very simplistic, though. I think they kind of, from my past point of view, they were getting things done. So this is an example of my old thumbnail. It's not terrible, I guess, but doesn't quite tell you anything about the video. But obviously, like, if you see something like this, you might not even bother clicking it, right? So I just recently installed GIMP and started kind of playing around with stuff a little bit. And it's like, I think I am getting slightly better at stuff, so my thumbnails are getting improved. This is, by the way, made in Paint 3D, so it's kind of disgusting really that I was doing this stuff. But I was kind of trying to make content. Like, a lot of my old Darkest Dungeon thumbnails are also like looking exactly the same. They're super generic, and I think this is something that maybe kind of slowed down my growth a little bit, because if you see a video that has bad thumbnail, you're probably less likely to click on it, right? And my newer thumbnails, like this one here, I started to try I mean, I'm trying to utilize some brighter colors. I'm trying to get the outlines on my text, right? They are looking way better. And I think if I had been doing this from the very start, like from the moment that the algorithm started suggesting my videos, actually, if I knew how to do those things right, I'd probably have like way more subscribers right now, and the growth would have probably been much more rapid as well. So if you guys are starting getting recommended for whatever reason, like if you get this one video that gets you recommended on other people's main pages, right? So starting pages, then you probably should actually try to just kind of invest some time, a few hours to learn how to use GIMP properly, and how to make some somewhat decent thumbnails. Because I feel this might be something that just means that you get more views because the people are clicking on your videos, so the algorithm thinks that they are valuable, and they're probably watching them if they're decent content, right? So then algorithm just starts suggesting them more often, and so on and so forth. Now, this might also be something that I don't like about the algorithm. It's quite arbitrary at what, okay, that's just people, right? People are just quite arbitrary at what they like and what they don't like. It's up to you to figure out what exactly is going to get some popularity and what isn't. But generally speaking, like, you're not going to get good viewership on all your content, right? This is just never going to happen. And a good example of this is actually the review for Gears Tactics that I made like some time ago. And I actually spent like 8 hours making the video. And then when I published it, it actually didn't get any views at all. I was really depressed because it took me really almost an entire day of work to put all those things together, to write all the script for the review, to kind of think about like what I was supposed to say and such. And that didn't work. And this is going to happen to you, I guess, as well. Like if you are if you don't have like very high subscriber numbers, some of your videos will just kind of disappear out there. And even with decent subscriber numbers, you might just have some videos that are just never going to surface. And it's quite sad when it happens to really good content videos, right? Because I feel like that particular review, guys, does deserve some attention. Though, it's like, that's what it is, right? Not everything works. So you have to be just ready for that, right? Okay, guys, we're at step number 4 now, engaging with your audience. How do you do this? So first of all, I should have done from the very get-go, like when I started getting some sort of popularity, was creating a Discord channel, because this is like a way through which you can just easily communicate with other gamers, especially because everyone like who games, I think, owns a Discord account. So if you make a channel and if you keep just recommending it, it's just a great way of staying in touch with people who are committed to kind of to your content. Another thing, obviously, if you have the ability to do so, I've been doing this for quite a few weeks now, 2 weeks really, and it's just really great. Like, feels great to be doing this, is actually playing with your audience. So if you have a game, if you're playing a game that you can share with other people who are watching your stream, and you can like devote an hour at the end of the stream to just kind of engaging with your audience a bit more, that's something you should definitely do, because this basically means that people are more likely to come back to your channel if you just get to engage with them, if you get to play games with them, maybe if you try even casting the games they're playing against each other. That's what we've been doing very recently on my stream. So there's just a couple of ideas for engaging with those people, and obviously this is just great, right? Because this means that those people will always be coming back to you. If you can kind of keep them interested, obviously they will, and so does my lovely community. Those guys are just there every single time I start streaming now. Because, I don't even have like awesome gear. I have like the, kind of mediocre voice, I guess, as well. But people just do keep coming back because it is just a sense of community that kind of drives them here. So that's another very important thing. Just kind of be focused on people who are actually willing to watch you, right? So so that's something that is very, very important as well. Okay, and step 5, guys, is actually something I have not done yet. And this is getting a decent microphone. And I can't stress it enough. I feel like the difference is tangible between me and other streamers, other YouTubers. And this headset has quite decent quality of microphone, really, but it's not enough. And I should have just made this call way sooner than I did. I'm in the process of buying a Blue Yeti microphone, but I feel like this could have been way better if I just had sounded just a bit more clearer and a bit more cleaner. So that's just something you really have to pay attention to, right? I feel like I underestimate how much good sound can do for you, and I feel like if I had sounded better, more people would have subscribed to me, and this kind of snowball effect that I enjoyed would have kind of become just faster, stronger, better, right? I don't know if this is going to always be the case for all of you, but yeah, I think sounding well is quite important, guys. And that was my last piece of advice. Guys, there are obviously some details I haven't mentioned, like for instance, posting the comments under each of your videos, just asking your viewers to subscribe, because this is quite a good idea, since everyone who wants to comment on your video will just scroll past it if you pin your comments there, and they will see like this notification to subscribe, right? I feel like if you're actually growing a channel, you're getting some sort of audience, those little things will kind of mount to something important. So, you know, you guys should always make playlists. You guys should always, you should always just, create all those little notifications for people to subscribe. You should have this little thing at the very right corner of the screen right there. I think I have it here, where you just have this watermark which says subscribe. And if you're growing, these will slowly pay dividends. This should kind of amount to a couple of subscribers per day as well. So if you really focus on getting to 1K, that's something you should probably consider doing. And also, obviously, like actively asking for subscriptions isn't a big sin. So yeah, you should probably be doing this as well. But the most important thing is just, you know, those things you'll learn from others, right? But the most important thing is getting this very nice beginning, this very nice start, where people just come to your channel and start watching your stuff. And to do this, you guys have to just, I think, be at the right place at the right time. So the very first point of this video is the most important one at the very same time. And this being said, I think this is all I really wanted to share with you guys. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this short clip, please consider subscribing, following. Let me know what you think as well. And I'd also like to use this very moment to kind of thank everybody who was involved in in creating this channel. So to my awesome moderator Sis, who has been kind of along for a very long way, starting from the Darkest Dungeon days, and to all my awesome community who was also like very active and who is very supportive of me. And I'm really happy that you guys are here. So thank you very much for making this happen. I'm very, very thrilled to see what the future brings. So stay tuned and bye-bye.